So we are gonna code a graph using Java. So there are three ways that we can code a Java or represent a Java inside computer's memory. First one is edge list, second one is adjacency matrix, and third one is adjacency list. So we will be using adjacency list to represent our graph. What we do in adjacency list, we create an array of linked list and we store the source and the destination inside array and inside the linked list. So that's the basic idea, to create an array of linked list and store it. But how to code, this is the part where most people have hard time, like how to write the code, because we have no clue. So the main trick is to draw the graph at first. So if suppose this is a graph we have drawn, it has 4 vertices and 4 edges, 0 1 2 3. 0 is connected with 1 and 3, 1 is connected with 0 and 2, and so on and so forth. So what do we have? We have vertex, we have edges, right? All right, so let's suppose, so if I try to write the output, let's just write down the output first. So the output will be 0 will be connected with 1 and 3, right? 1 and 3, sorry, 1 and 3. 1 will be connected with 0 and 2. 2 will be connected with 3 and 1. 2 will be connected with 3 and 1, and 3 will be connected with 2 and 0. So this is the output. This is what we have to show after outputting our graph. So let's just go to the code. Let's write what do we have and how can we represent it. Let's just create a class. Let's name the class as main. I am naming it main because I am writing my code inside a online compiler and it doesn't take any other classes if I don't name it main. So I'm just gonna call it main. You can call it graph, because calling the main class as a graph is more legit, because we are coding a graph, right? So at first we're gonna make the main. So we're just gonna make the one public static void main method string args. What do we have? We have vertices. Let's just write vertices, and we are gonna take the number of vertices as input. So I'm gonna use buffer class for that. Buffered reader br equals to new buffered reader new input stream reader system dot in. It will take the parameter as system dot in. Then we will be taking some input inside the vertices. Now we have to typecast the value which we'll be getting from the buffered reader class. All right, so to do that we will be using integer dot parse int method to typecast it. Sorry, integer dot parse int br dot read line. So this br dot read line will take an input and we will be typecasting it to the integer type. Now we have vertices. Now what we can do, we can make an object of the main class and pass the vertices, right? If we declare the vertices and the array of linked list globally, then we can access them from anywhere. It's just for the ease of use. So let's just make an object of the main class. So calling main, let's call it gh equals to new main, and we will be passing vertices. All right, now we pass the vertices to the main. Let's code that first. All right, then we will be coding the main, so that you will understand what's going on behind the scenes, right? So let's just write vertices. This is the global variable, this is the global vertices variable, right? Now we will be declaring another thing, which will be where we'll store the source and destination. This is the array of linked list, right? So we're just gonna write linked list of type integer. So what this line means, this line means this is an array of linked list. All right, and the linked list is generated by type integer, so we can only store integer types inside linked list. So we're gonna create the constructor which is being called over here, right, with an argument vertices. So main int vertices, we are gonna assign this past value of the vertices to this global vertices. So how we can do that? We can use this dot vertices, this vertices is the global one, and we will assign the value of the local to the global. So this one is the local, this one is the local vertices, and we will be creating an array of size which will be equals to the number of the vertices. So how we can do that? We can just simply create new, because we will be creating the space inside our heap memory, right? So we have to use new linked list, just like we are writing it just like an array of type integer. What we write in the array of integer, we type new int of size something, just like that we are writing new linked list of size vertices, right? This will create an array of size equals to the number of the vertices. Now we have to put a single linked list in each array, element. Suppose we have an array of size 10, then 0th index will store from 0 to 9th index. We will be storing a linked list in each value. All right, to do that we have to run a loop for int I equals to 0, I less than vertices, and I plus plus. How we can do that? We just have to write in array of I equals to, so that a 0th index will have a linked list of type integer, 1th index will have a linked list of type integer, and so on and so forth till 9th, so that we have 10 array 10 size of array with empty linked list inside each array element, right? So our constructor is done almost. After that we have passed the constructor, after we have passed the vertices, right, to the constructor. Now what do we have in the graph? We know the vertices, we have passed the vertices, we have created an array of linked list, we have made the array size equals to the number of vertices, right? Now we have edges, we know the edges, we know there is an edge between 0 to 1, there is an edge between 1 to 2. Now we have to write that code, right? So what we can do, we have to tell it 4 times, right? We have to tell our systems 4 times that there are some edge between some vertices, right? So what is 4? 4 is the number of the vertices, right? So we have to loop, we have to use a loop, right, till the number of the vertices to store the connections. So let's just create two variables, src and dst for source and destination. Just take input to both. Just copy this one. I'm gonna copy this one to save some time. Paste it over here. Same for the destination. So we have source and destination now, and we are gonna pass it. Let's suppose a method add edge dge. We are gonna pass source and destination. All right. After passing source and destination, we just have to display it. Just call a display. Now we have to reference it because we are creating an object, right? So we have to reference it, gh.addEdge, again gh.display, gh.display. All right. Okay, now we have to create the addEdge method. So void addEdge. It will take two parameters, which will be, let's just name it same, src and int dst. What we are gonna do, we are gonna put the source value inside the array and the destination value inside the linked list. And as this is an undirected graph, we have to store again the destination value inside the array and the source value inside the linked list, because there is a both way connection, right? If 0 is connected to 1, 1 is connected to 0. We don't have to show it, but we have to tell our system that yes, there is a connection between 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. And now to do that, we just have to put the source value inside the array, and we will be using add method, which is the inbuilt method for the linked list class which we are using. This add method actually adds value inside the linked list. Just add destination value inside the linked list, and vice versa, arr of destination. So we will be storing destination again inside array, and source inside the linked list, because there is a connection between 0 to 1 and 1 to 0, right? This is the reason why we are doing this. Now we have to write the display function. Display. Now how we can display it? So if there is no, if the size of the, suppose if the size of the array is 0, we can't display it. If the size of the linked list is 0, we can't display it, right? To do that, we can just loop through it. Int I equals to 0, I less than vertices I plus plus. Now what we can do, we have to check if the length of the array is greater than 0 or not. So array dot length, if it is 0, then proceed, and then what we have to do now, we have to go through the whole linked list connected with every array index, right? So to do that, we need to use another loop. We're just gonna loop through using j less than, what will be the size of the linked list, right? We have to traverse the whole linked list. To do that, we can extract the size by doing this arr of I, because we suppose 0th index have an size and linked list of size 5. So we are at the 0th index, and now we can use the inbuilt size method which actually used for extracting the size of any linked list, right? So this is where we have the linked list, and then we can extracting the size of it so that we can loop through the whole linked list, right? Then j++. Now we can just print the whole linked list, right? This is the main aim. We have to print the connections, right? To print the connections, first we have to system.out.print. we are not using print line, right? Because we need to give a line break after each connections. We are not giving line breaks over here, we are giving line breaks over here, right? To do that, we are using print. We are just gonna print the value. How can we print the value? So arr of I, now we are at 0th index, and we can get the value of each linked list element by using j, because j is this jth loop is used for traversing, right? So this will extract each value until it's been traversed to the end of the linked list, right? Then we can put line break for this place, right? So we can put a line break, just it will be system.out.print ln to print a new line. Yeah, that's all, I think. Now we have to import some methods because we are using inbuilt linked list class. To do that, we can import java.util class or util package. We are importing the whole util package for linked list, and we are importing IO package, which is input output package for buffered reader class. Okay, so we have buffered reader. All right, we need to, as we are using buffered reader, it will throw some exception and we have to suppress it. To suppress, we can use throws exception. This will suppress the exception which is being thrown by buffered reader class, right? So now I think this is we have to comment it out. Let's just run it and see. I think let me just connect to my neighbor's Wi-Fi. Okay, it's connecting to the server. Let's see if we have any error. There has to be some error, right? Illegal start linked list, right? So we have to put new because we are creating an object, right? Yep. So just we are gonna put the input. So number of vertices is 4. Now we are gonna put the edges. So edges will be 0 0 1 1 2 2 3 and 3 0, right? So we're just gonna put 0 1 1 2 2 3 3 and just extend it 0. All right, let's check the output. So it's 1302 13 yeah, 13. All right, 31 anything and 20. All right, so output is coming just fine. Now the people who are watching this, there is a, I can give you a challenge. Now the challenge is you have to print it in some another formatted way. Let me show you the formatted way. So you have to print it like, you have to print all the edge vertex also, like 0th vertex is connected. Let's just give a arrow. So 0th vertex has an edge with 1 and 3. All right, 1th vertex as having an edge between 2 and 0, and so on and so forth. So you have to print 0, 1, 2, 3 and the connections, right? So this is the challenge. So if you can do it, that's great. So this is my first video. I know there are so many flaws, there are so many mistakes. So in the next one I'll try to make them less, and that's it. Thank you. Bye bye.